Between Tim Cook on CBS Sunday and WWDC coming up in just a couple hours, Josh Lipton breaks that down for us. Josh.
So, John, this year Apple's big developer show does feel different. Of course, it's taken place against the backdrop of an increasingly divided country. And over the weekend, Apple CEO Tim Cook actually talked about the role he thinks the iPhone can play in capturing these significant historical moments.
We are humbled by it. And if you look back in time, some of the most dramatic societal changes have occurred because someone captured video.
Cook is right. The iPhone today is everywhere, and part of its popularity is due to developers, the men and women building apps for Apple devices. Cook's job today, in part, is to convince these developers that they should spend their time, money, and effort building apps for his products, not the competition. Apple now boasts 23 million registered developers that have earned more than $155 billion since the App Store first launched back in 2008. But as this conference kicks off today, there's new tension over the App Store. From overseas, we know European regulators have opened an investigation. And here at home, over a new email app called Hey, Apple had rejected that app, which caused a firestorm. But this morning, we learned that Apple has now apparently approved a new version of that app. And that perhaps helps diffuse now what had become an ugly fight with David Hansen, a prominent developer behind the app, and refocuses attention instead back on the conference today. Right now, none of this tension does seem to be worrying investors. You can check out the stock. It's rallied some 40% since early April. Now on track for its best quarter, by the way, since 2012. But the App Store is critical. Analysts estimate it represents more than 30% of total services revenue, guys.
Hey, Josh, as you said, that relationship is so critical, but also very tenuous. And you mentioned that the Hey email app got approval this morning. I just wonder, does that open up Apple and the App Store to more of these kinds of disputes, especially if developers, big and small, think that they can win concessions?
Well, so Apple would say, listen, it has 23 million registered developers. It's a big, diverse community. What had happened there is, Apple's Phil Schiller had told reporters one problem he had with that app, the Hey app, was that if you downloaded the app, it didn't work. And Schiller said, we can't have that. And so David Hansen and his crew there got to work. And now they're going to offer this new free version, this free temporary version, and that perhaps diffuses the situation. I think to your point, that fight had started to snowball a bit, right? I mean, after David Hansen came out swinging, you saw Match Group came out to criticize, so did Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, and perhaps even more importantly, you saw some prominent lawmakers criticizing Apple as well. David Cicilline, chairman of the House Antitrust Subcommittee, told The Verge that Apple's App Store fees, I think he used the words highway robbery. So perhaps Apple diffusing that situation and bringing the headlines now back to what they want, which is how big and powerful the App Store is and how much money developers can make on it, guys.